What is up? It is Paris Tempe. Paris TTMPPED, TTMPPED. And today's gonna be a fire video. I figured, what's not a better way of doing this video than in the kitchen making breakfast? Do you need a cup? So today's video is going to be about finding roommates as a trans person. It's not what you think. Because it's not. I feel like, I've had a fair share of roommates. When I tell y'all, oh my God, I look bad. Because my last roommates did not know. When I tell y'all I was walking around that house on my tippy toes, every time they had a trans topic, I was like, every time Trump came up, and that was because they were Trump supporters. They were Trump supporters, so I didn't know what the vibe was. I didn't know if I was accepted in that house, if I would. I didn't know the vibe. Keep in mind, they still don't know. They don't know why I was in such a rush to leave. I kind of feel bad about that, but that's why I'm making this video, because I do feel like a lot of us kind of get ourselves in these situations because of the unknown and the fear of if they know. Do they know? Do they know? Should I tell them? Will they accept me? Am I safe? It's really interesting because the week before I left, we all had this conversation about how Trump, the government, all that stuff is taking away our rights to use the public bathrooms that we choose. And he, like, my roommate was like, that's bullshit. Like, that's crazy. And I was like, wow, you actually are for us. I would be, and I think, like I said, because he's a Trump supporter, I feel like he kind of had a bad rep, but that's your fault, not mine. So yeah, I was cautious the whole time. And it sucked because I felt like there was a lot of opportunities and things that I had to go with. Whenever I had certain conversations with certain friends, I would leave the house. When I wanted to do YouTube, I would leave the house. Like, I was never able to be myself comfortably because I wasn't out. I always say you gotta aim to live with people who do not care. When I was in college, my roommates were already LGBT plus, so they didn't give a fuck. No, nor. Oh, that's a bird. But like, they didn't care, so I feel like it was my first kind of introduction into living in a space where it didn't really matter what the fuck I was. It didn't matter. I could be a tree for all they gave, for all they knew. They didn't give a fuck. I feel like you gotta be with your community. If you can live with people who are like you, please do. And I feel like it is easier said than done. If I would have lived with people who were LGBT plus or LGBT plus friendly, I feel like I would have been a lot more confident in making YouTube content. Like I said, I was completely secretive. I would go outside in 20-degree weather, hands freezing, in my truck because I didn't want to bring it up. I didn't want questions. I didn't want them in my video. And I didn't want, I didn't know what to expect because, like I said, there's people that I be thinking that everyone's up to date and everyone likes us, and then I'll hear someone's comment and they're like, ew, what the fuck? Or, you're what you are at birth, but whatever. Like, those kind of comments. And I'm like, bro, I thought you were for us. When I was in college, I got introduced to the Live Lavender dorms, and those are basically LGBT plus friendly, like, housing situations. And if you can do that, I would suggest going to LGBT plus centers. Those kind of things have, suggestions on, where to go for housing. You can find roommates there. You gotta check Facebook, school programs, roommate websites, ask a friend. LGBT plus centers, like, all of that is going to really help to kind of lead you in the direction that you want to go in, because I feel like me getting that introduction helped me to always know the difference. Like, if I'm living with someone that's not that comforting, not that supportive, I know that it's not a space for me to live in, because I lived in a space where me being trans was the last thing that they gave. They didn't give a fuck. If anything, bro, I was popping out to the roommate, and I would pop out to the room, and they would be having company. And I'm like, and they own but were not giving me it. They didn't give a shit. They were living their best life in college. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you want to live with, people who are just living their own lives and who don't care about you. Not to be rude, but you don't want them in your business. You don't want you to be the topic of the house. Do your research. You know, always look at where you're going before you go, who you living with before you live there, because you just never know. You know, you definitely LGBT plus women, y'all, do your research. A lot. I know so many people who end up homeless, moving out. They do these group move-ins. I heard this story on TikTok. They did like this group move-in, and with this couple, and they were like making like they kicked her out I think at one point, and she didn't even have nobody. A lot of trans women don't have nobody, so when they find housing, like just to be kicked out, that's traumatic, and that's crazy. So make sure you're making a lease, and really make sure you know where you are, because this is where you gotta be to survive. Keep that in mind. Let people know where you are. If you end up moving, please let people know where you're moving to, who you moving with. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that dead roommate, yo. I mean, I'm being very serious. Do mine know? Okay, so I've actually known my roommates for a very long time. So me being trans is the last thing that they care about. That to me is where you want to be, if you can. I feel like I'm literally watching my whole life completely change from being completely hidden in my cocoon to making a YouTube video in the kitchen. Like, bro, when I was living at my last spot, like I literally didn't even do singing videos until they dipped, because I just didn't want them to look me up on YouTube and they just see trans, 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 trans. Bro, when I tell y'all, I was not myself. And that's not human. And I ended up kind of pushing back so many ideas and possibilities because I was afraid. Yo, I don't even this video, it was hard to get this video done because I just haven't had a time where I was able to just speak publicly in my own comfort in my own home. It's not, and that's not normal, but I feel like a lot of us have to go through that because of our experiences. A lot of us go to college, move, get our own spots, and get roommates, and we're basically only ourselves in our rooms, and that's not normal. Benefits: comfortability. Come on, 10 times more comfortable when you're living with LGBT plus friendly people. I wear what I want, y'all. I feel like you don't gotta be hyper nothing, hyper feminine, just wear what you want. When you wake up in the morning, you don't want to be like immediately full face. Come on, it's 6 a.m. My mouth is dry. I got eye boogers right now. I don't got time to be looking like, am I passing this morning? The fuck? That to me, like what? Non-intrusive. I don't get the, how do you do this? What's that? Who's that? What that? Do that? Blah 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 blah. All that beatboxing and shit. None of that. Y'all don't really. It's literally a dramatic shift. I can decorate my space. I can put the trans flag. I can put me naked on the walls. Would I do that? Absolutely not. But y'all gotta understand. I'm living in a dramatically different scene, and it's interesting. You also get more respect. I didn't even think about that. I feel like I'm getting respected more because I'm seen as someone with experience rather than some scary black man. Y'all, being put in the scary black man category is scary. Like oh my god, I might want to talk about that. That's a different video. Cause, Trump supporters are interesting people. Shout out to them though, because I really learned also to not judge everybody and be willing to have those kind of deep conversations. But I was still in the closet though, fuck that. My safety is more important than deep conversations. And not all people will understand. I literally lived with a trans woman and she was batshit crazy. She knew my situation, knew the shit I was going through, and it still didn't matter. She was still crazy. Her dog attacked me and everything. Y'all want a story time? Comment down below, story time. That shit was wild. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody will understand you, not even your own people. So you gotta make sure you're not just living with LGBT plus friendly, but people who are just friendly. And not friendly like, oh, nice. I mean just people who want to coexist with you and live in their own life, not in yours, and doing their own thing. And that's what you should be doing. And also, your transition may not even fucking matter. You don't gotta live with LGBT plus like people. You just gotta live with LGBT plus friendly people who respect and are allies. You don't gotta go and be like, hi, I'm trans. Like I honestly don't regret that I didn't tell them, because I didn't feel like talking about it. And that was my choice. You don't gotta tell them. You just gotta understand where you're living with, who you're living with, so that you can do what you want to do without having to feel shame. Privacy is a must, and until you understand that, you will be in a cocoon. Don't be me. Don't be who I used to be. It's done. And the video is done right on time.
El pastillo es de nueve piso o no?
North, come here. Come here. North. Oh, sorry, I'm doing a YouTube video.
Oh,
Well,
it's okay. My bad. I'm just cleaning. Am I in your way?
no.
Okay.
If you made it this far in the video, comment down below. LGBT plus friendly, because that's important. You know what I'm saying? Until next time, Paris out.